It's a man-eat-pig world, where all men are pigs. And Circe found that out the long way, the bloodied and bruised way, the find the will to live again way, the hate way because hate is the only thing you can feel, the eat your heart or starve way. And that makes the victim into the killer, and the killer into the victim, because that's the man way, the can't get enough way, the pointing fingers way, the pointing fingers away from men, the pointing fingers at women. And suddenly she's the villain, because the only thing worse than a pig eating a woman is a woman eating a pig. Because there is no space for forgiveness, and this is the no hope for healing when you're too busy hurting way, the kill until you become the pig way, because this is not a man's way, this is a pig's way. And her biggest regret will never be all the pigs she killed, but her failure to protect Mother Earth and daughter land, because that is the nymph way, the pleasing to the palate way, the turn into a laurel to escape way, the become an echo for a man way, when even your death becomes life way. But I'd like to hear it a different way, where she isn't stuck in a cycle way, where she doesn't fall in love way, where she doesn't end her life way. I'd like to hear the building up broken down souls, the starting something new, the living to see another day way. The way where femininity is the root of divinity.
Once I graduate, I would finally be able to say, I survived high school. Not because chemistry's hard, but because I live in America, where attending high school is a constant gamble on my life and the lives of others. There's always a chance my classmate could end up lying on top of their homework, covered in a pool of blood from the bullet wound in their chest, their color from their eyes begin slowly fading away and taken by darkness, while their classmate checks for a non-existent pulse. The first thing I do at the start of every new school year is plan escape routes at each new classroom for each period of the day. Until the last day of high school ends, we don't know if everyone will be handed a diploma. If I attend our school's graduation ceremony, I'll think about the kids who couldn't accept their diploma with honors while their friends cheered and their parents cried, because the flowers parents brought for their child on graduation day will not be tossed on stage, but placed gently at their gravestone. But when the rich are affected, then the government advocates for the addition of an armed security guard and installation of bulletproof glass, because the elite are seen as a hero who sacrificed themselves for this beautiful country. Thank you, God, for saving this brave, faithful man. If God can save the rich, why won't he save his children if they're one of his greatest blessings? Where was the strongest angels when a student collapsed to the tile floor, dropped the lunch tray in the cafeteria after being shot in the back? It is always so funny to me, the same people who care about protecting the children, we must protect the innocence of children, are silent after every live broadcast that shows caskets carried out of high schools around hundreds of students sobbing into each other's arms, wondering why they survived when others died. Those children weren't protected. The adults in their life failed them. But at least they come have access to any queer media that would tempt them into vile sin, because we must protect the children from future damnation. But you're blind to the hell they can face while still alive in their second grade classroom. Attending high school is like a game of Russian roulette. The fatal possibilities are rare, but never zero. There is so much more to explore beyond high school. I just hope the gun that stormed the hallways was loaded with blanks instead of bullets.
Starting a fire is easy, putting it out is hard. I lit a match and told it one day it'd become a star. Assuming it would burn out, I let it sleep and consume my heart. Who knew this small dream would tear my whole future apart? The embers in my brain spark with fantasies I know won't come true, but the fire in my heart won't rest until it's gotten its way through. The ashes in my veins yearn to reach the sky so it can be reborn and feed itself with false hopes and lies. Beating and bellowing, my heart still burns, growing hungry for more. The fame, the glory, the shame of knowing that no matter how many tears I cry, I will never put out the flame. The shame of knowing I have only myself to blame. A smoke so visible everyone can see how this fire, how it is ruining me. The flames turn blue with heat, making my muscles sore. But all it takes is one daydream to make my heart want more. The love, the joy, the shove when I snap to reality and realize my homework's not done. And I look at my grade. Oh, it's a 1. I used to be so smart. What happened? Flames whistle in the winds like flags. They sway side to side like when a dog's tail wags. These flames slip through my fingers, out of my control. The after effects are starting to unfurl. For my future, I feel doubt, because the truth of it is, I'm just burnt out. Starting a fire is easy, putting it out is hard.
4 years of being teased, 4 years of being bullied for being myself, 4 years of being shamed for being myself, 4 years of being cursed upon it. I don't know how I feel about it. I say, it's okay, it's fine. It isn't. Not being accepted for something like that, being called inhuman for it. When I say being called inhuman for it, it's like people comparing me to things. Like people think that they, them is my name. Or when I told some people that I liked, that I'm pansexual, and they said that I liked pots and pans. Or kitchen objects that have to do with pots or pans. I'm just saying how it feels all over again. It's outrageous. It's horrific what people come up with. To say things like whatever is in between your legs is your gender. I was told that more times than I count to 4. But the second you don't go by any gender, it's unacceptable. It's okay to be transgender? 4 years of trying to understand who I am. 4 years of people yelling at me for using the female restrooms. My sister said once, she didn't even want to be in the same space as me. 4 years of realizing it's not okay to be myself. 4 years of the torment of being non-binary. It's not okay to be myself. No, I was taught that. It's not okay to be myself. If you don't choose, like I'm supposed to choose to be a guy or a girl, but if you don't choose, then you're supposed to be judged for it. For the choice you made, it hurts, you know? I'm non-binary, but calling me the name that I buried so deep in all of the trauma, thanks to those that have taken advantage of me. The mirror breaks from how hard I've been punching it. So please respect me or ask if you don't know what that means. I have been non-binary for 4 years.